Welcome back, everybody, to another Q&A with Dr. J and GC. My Happy Genes here, reporting in with some answers to questions that we know you have. But really, today is an announcement and answers to questions. We have a new slider about dairy. Now, a slider is the thing that is in your genes report when you get your genes done. There's like green, yellow, red on a bar. And where you are on that continuum is either really, really great, meh, not so great, and danger zone. But Dr. J has been getting a lot of questions about dairy and lactase and how the genes affect whether we can drink milk or eat cheese or whatever. So she put her research hat on and came up with a whole new slider, and we're going to talk about dairy today and how our genes affect our ability to enjoy it or not. Take it away, Jay.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty common topic if you're concerned about health. It seems like a lot of people are sensitive to dairy products, and there could be a lot of reasons for it, not just the lactose or the casein, but also the hormones that are given to the cows can affect your physiology negatively, and the pesticides and chemicals that they're exposed to. So it can be a multiple problems that can lead to sensitivities to dairy, but I started to do a little more research into the milk proteins because I was seeing some new research coming out connecting genetic variants with milk protein allergies versus being able to digest lactose with lactase. So,
Mm.
two different issues. So, I added that slider. And the cool thing about the software that my engineers designed is that I can add sliders or add new information or add new genes so that every time you log in, you're up to date. You never have to buy another report. It's always up to date. If you've already gotten your genes tested, you can look to see if this new slider is in your report. It should be, but here it is. And the slider takes into account all of the genes. It's never just like one gene, one issue. We tally up, how many homozygous variants you have, where you get both parents gave you the wrong code, or heterozygous variants where one parent gave you the right code, or as you were saying, the green, where we got the right code for a gene, but it could be multiple genes that then add up and we give you a relative risk. And anything above 30% or higher, it's a good idea to avoid dairy products as they're likely having an adverse effect on your health. And this is off cow's milk protein allergy is more of an immune system reaction to proteins in cow's milk, often seen in children, and sometimes they'll outgrow it, but also seen in adults. And sometimes as we age, we might start to react to things even more. But often people lose their ability to digest dairy products as we age because we don't make as much lactase, which is the enzyme that breaks down lactose, or we develop more sensitivity to these cow's milk proteins. So if you get a chance, jump on in there. Let me show you the lactase one. These are all the different foods here. There it is, or lactose. So for this person, they can safely handle lactose. Unfortunately, you can't just have the lactose without the cow's milk protein. And I know some people drink A2 milk, which is a slightly different composition of the cow's milk protein, and sometimes they can handle that. They can tolerate that better. So that is an option. You can try it out.
And would
But
that be true of goat's milk or sheep's cheese? They make things, dairy products out of other than cow's milk.
yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that because this was specifically a cow's milk protein.
Mm.
I'm going to have to do some research into are there other genes that are associated with goat milk protein?
I was thinking of the cheeses because I'm such a cheese lover. I was thinking of
Yeah.
like sheep's cheese and goat cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a legitimate question. So I'll have to keep adding information in
And
here.
there's no end to how much you could add.
Yeah.
Like every day we get some new information. I did see quickly before you snipped off that probiotics may help people with that lactose problem.
Right. Yeah, that can help for in some cases, but it doesn't seem to help with the cow's milk protein.
So in the cow's milk protein, what kind of symptoms people might experience? Let's
Yeah.
say they don't have their genes tested yet, but they notice when they have milk in their coffee, maybe that's a histamine thing.
It can be, it's often an immune system, more of an immune system reaction. So skin issues like eczema or
Oh,
gastrointestinal
okay.
problems, anaphylaxis in
Wow.
some cases.
Anaphylaxis is no fun.
No, that's not fun. So those are the genes. These are the genes that we have found consistently show, studies show that it can lead to genetic variants there can lead to issues with cow's milk proteins.
Hmm. And there are a lot of alternatives these days for people who want whitening in their coffee or their tea, not without endless supply of nut milks and oat milks and
Yeah.
combos and
Yeah, for me, it's the lactose that's a problem. The milk protein doesn't seem to be a problem, but I use like oat milk creamer in my coffee. Yeah, and feel much better when I do that.
that's another hint the body gives you when you change something out just on a suspicion that it might not be making you feel the best, and then you feel better. You're like, look at that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I talk to people about all the time because we just tend to power through or we take an
Hmm.
aspirin or we take an antacid or whatever. And if you pay attention to what you just ate and what symptoms you're having, often you can spot the offender. Except in the case of sometimes we'll see a delayed sensitivity reaction where it's like the next day, and those are a little more difficult to
Yeah.
spot. And those are an immune, like a mast cell activation kind of thing, an immune response that you'll see delayed. But for the most part, we know within an hour or so. And you can also feel, if you feel your heart rate speed up, you just ate something that you're likely allergic to.
Hmm.
Just paying attention. If it goes 10 beats higher without you moving, if you're just sitting there and you had dinner and suddenly you feel, wow, it feels like my heart's racing, and you're getting sleepy, it's another indication that you just ate something that your body is not happy with.
People say, my body doesn't talk to me. It does. We
Yeah,
just don't know how to listen,
exactly. Yeah, it does all the time.
It does all the time. Okay, so dairy mystery solved. Cow's milk protein versus lactose, two different things,
Yeah,
and a new slider. We're going to talk in another Q&A about yet another slider that Dr. J has added. So do be sure to stop back.
that's a big deal
Yeah.
for
Okay,
sure.
so tune in for the next big deal. But before you go, please, if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Do you feel different after you have milk, but now you're like, wow, maybe I shouldn't be having it? Or I know I'm not allergic to milk, but you may not be allergic, but it
Mhm.
may not be the best thing for you. So
Yeah.
write to us in the comments. And always, please feel free to send us a question that you might have about your experience, your symptoms, and whether they're related to genes. Okay, Dr. J, I'll see you again soon.
Thanks, GC.
You're welcome.